I've ordered one of the pieces myself. You can now see a really ugly picture of me modelling it as best I possibly can.
Right, hello you guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I've missed you guys. Thank you so much for waiting. So I know I had this stream that Niall was talking about that I had to postpone. That was like general Arsenal news. Spoiler, there is like no Arsenal news. Yeah, basically, my granddad got really sick and he's still really unwell in hospital. So I've just been like focusing on family this week and everything to do with that. And unfortunately, it meant I haven't been able to stream, so that's the reason. But thank you so much, you guys who commented on my post, like wishing that everything was okay and being so supportive and nice. That really meant a lot because I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to stream and that, like, so you guys really helped with that. And it's been a horrible week, and it has not helped that there's been no football. But well, there has been some football, but not Arsenal. But I'm so excited, hence the preview already for this Saturday's match, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace is actually my granddad's team. So I don't know whether I should kind of, no, I'll still rub it into him if we win, but yeah. So I will start your questions and we'll do a Q&A right after the preview. But I just wanted to explain where I've been. So I've been off for about a week, and oh my gosh, what a week it has been. I mean, first of all, though, please hit the like if you haven't already. And we're on the road to 1K subs where I'll do a big giveaway. So if we could reach that soon, that would be so cool. I'd be so excited. And thank you so much for all the support, as I was saying. So yeah. Anyway, this week there's been so many links for Arsenal that are not links, and then drama between Arsenal fans. Lee Gunner just called out like the whole of the positive side of the Arsenal fan base, basically, and like that was just a huge like implosion. If you haven't seen that, there's also been situations with FFP and are we actually going to sign anyone? So for such a quiet January transfer window, like loads has actually happened, but at the same time, nothing has really happened at all. And I'm left feeling really kind of negative about whether we'll actually bring someone in for January. So yeah, I had this whole stream planned about like all the transfer links and stuff, but I'm kind of glad that I wasn't able to do it because of my family stuff. Because none of it seems to be coming to fruition at this moment in time. And if I had to place a bet on it, I'd think Arsenal were getting no one. And that to me is like absolutely not okay. Because Ivan Toney today has also come out saying basically that he still wants to move. He's a cheeky man. But let's say hello to you guys. So who's here? Renee is here. And I see that it's your birthday on Saturday or the weekend. And thank you, everyone sending good wishes to my granddad. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Niall. I saw that you reached out to me, and you'll all know that I'm really bad at replying if you reach out to me, but I do see your messages and I do appreciate them. The Doug Owl Football Show is here. Hello, Doug. I saw you were doing something really exciting on Twitter. Remind me what it was, but yeah, you're doing so well. Mr. Waffles, hello, saying just an Arsenal pod kind of day. It really is, isn't it? I mean, Arsenal pods are all we have at the moment to get us through this lack of Arsenal football, and it's so painful. But hopefully I can fill some of that void for you today, and we'll just get feverishly excited about Saturday. Guna Gathering, big up saying hello, Fran, hope you're okay, mate. Hello, Renee again. Hi, Renee. Doug is very sleepy. That might be something to do with having a newborn baby. I would not be surprised. Oh no, is Gunner after me? Probably. It was more he called out the Guna Talk channel, and I really like Tom, and I agree with like some of Lee's football takes, but if you guys saw that video, I thought it was actually I don't want to get myself into it, but I understand criticizing, say, the Guna Talks footballing opinions, but I didn't agree with how LG was like personally going after him. I think argue about football, but don't make it personal, you know. But each to their own. AJ, what's up? I just seen you in Connor's stream as well. Make sure you guys go and check out CMO on YouTube. That's Connor's new YouTube channel. Or 12 likes already. Thank you so much. Also, yeah, it was Declan Rice's birthday. What else has happened in this last week? What's up, Niall? So good to see you in the stream. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. The Doug was on Sky News campaigning to bring Sven-Göran Eriksson to Anfield and manage the Legends match. You must let me know how that will go. Yes, so for those who don't know, Sven-Göran Eriksson, I believe ex-England manager. I kind of a bit before my time. I can't remember which teams he played for, but amazing player, such a nice bloke as well. Basically revealed that he hasn't got very long left to live after a cancer diagnosis, but that he'd always wanted to manage Liverpool, and he kind of regrets not doing that. And now people like Doug are campaigning to let him manage the Legends match at Liverpool, and it would just be fantastic. I'm so behind it, and I hope it went well. AJ, hello, saying evening, Fran. I'm boiling an egg, having a late dinner. Thank you for letting me know. What did you guys have for dinner? I had Hawaiian pizza, as always. Just as Eros comes in the chat, he's going to think all I eat is Hawaiian pizza. But AJ has boiled an egg. Hopefully you've had it with soldiers. Just a boiled egg on its own is not a great dinner. No offense. But yeah, big up. Eros, hello. Oh, ex-Leicester manager. Right. Ah, nice one. Of course, you would know. Renee with Leicester fan, of course. Our resident Leicester fan. Well, Eros, you're like my jinx, my curse. I don't have Hawaiian pizza every day. It's rare. God, just always there. You always catch me at my worst times, Eros. So yeah, said hello to you guys, and we're going to get into, like, ridiculously early, I know, but get into the match at the weekend on Saturday. I believe it's at 12:30, Arsenal facing Crystal Palace. And look, this match is so important. So let me get it. Nope, that's the wrong one. Nope, this is the right one. Okay, hold up. So here we are, the Crystal Palace preview with Roy. We're facing Roy Hodgson, and I can't believe he's still managing. Like, he looks about 110 at this point, and I love you, Roy, but oh my God, please just let the man retire. He's like being held at gunpoint to continue managing. In every press conference, he's like, oh, I hope I don't have to do this much longer. So Roy, let's just hope like he makes it to Saturday and we can play them. I love that guy, but just let him retire in peace, please. So I've been listening to quite a few Palace podcasts and stuff, and they're pretty fed up with the negative style of football that he plays. But I love Roy. Like, I just feel bad for the guy. What a legend, though. Absolute legend of the game. He's been around long, like 4 times as long as I've been born. Absolute legend. Big up Roy every time, as Niall says. Big Uncle Roy. Big up Roy every time. Eros saying that's wild. I came in as soon as you said that. I'm a pizza junkie too, honestly. I just we do like a normal food shop and get a couple of frozen pizzas in there as well. And as soon as we get back from the food shop, we just go like, should we just have the pizzas tonight? Yeah. They're just the best. If I would eat frozen pizza every night. It's so bad. AJ. Honestly, I don't like saying it, but this game is screaming 2-1 Crystal Palace. Nah, I don't think so. I see, because I've been listening to Crystal Palace pod today, and they're so like negative about it as well. So 2 of their top scorers, Jordan Ayew and also Olise, of course, who's a massive threat. Eze is still there, but Ayew and Olise. Ayew's away playing with Ghana at AFCON, and then Olise's got a hamstring injury. So they also just lost today. I couldn't find a stream to watch it, unfortunately, but they played the second round of that dreadful Everton Crystal Palace FA Cup draw. And it was a 1-0 win to Everton today. But Eze was really dangerous. But yeah, Crystal Palace just lost 1-0 today to Everton. They've really not been in good form, but we're going to dive into all of that. But anyway, the real important thing is basically how important this match is. I mean, if there was ever a time to say that now is when Arsenal need to start to show up, then it is this match. I mean, they've had the 2 weeks away, the winter break in Dubai. We all know that the last few games have been atrocious. And we've completely forgotten how to put the ball in the back of the net. Something which is quite important in football, okay? All of Arsenal just look like they're playing barefoot. I don't know, in pants with weird hats on. I don't know. They don't look like themselves, and they're all like completely drunk or hungover, and they can't shoot a ball. I could probably shoot a ball better. You could probably shoot a ball better. I don't even know what that example was. I'm so tired. It's been a long week, guys. But anyway, we can't shoot. So as I was saying, Dubai, they've gone away to Dubai. Yachts, steak, Salt Bay. Gabriel Martinelli holding a lion cub. Bukayo Saka on a yacht. All of that. Kivior's girlfriend was twerking on the beach. They've had their break. They've had their fun, okay? Now it's business time. This is where I've given them the benefit of the doubt and said, right, go away, get your head together, remember how to shoot a ball again, and come back and show us that you remember how to play football. So this is where we come back and make a statement to the rest of the league that, yeah, we had a few funny games. We had our blip. We had our moment, if you like, but we had it in January, and the rest of the season we finished like a tank, like a truck, like a bus, demolished everyone else. This is where we come back strong and come back and kill the final bit of the season. And it doesn't look like we're going to be getting any transfers in. So we just got to hope that twerking on the beach and eating Salt Bay steak has done the trick, and they've remembered how to shoot a ball again and are back to themselves. Because we're making the chances in the box, they're getting the service, we're getting the shots away, just can't score a goal. However, that being said, don't get me started on how badly I want a striker. But yeah, we need firing boots, babes. Yeah, we do, Gunnar Gargamel. The Governator's Liverpool fan, I remember, saying hello again. You got to win or it's curtains in the league. Trust me. And if our team loses, we know like how much it rocks them mentally. And then we don't just lose once normally. Last season we did a little bit, but this season when we're losing, it's like 2 or 3 games and they can't pick themselves up. And this is why I want a striker or a player like Ivan Toney so bad. Like that guy, things just roll off him. Like he doesn't seem to deep things. Like he's just mission on. Like he doesn't care what people are saying about him. I want to talk about Ivan Toney because he's been moving incredibly madly today. Moving mad, as they say. So you know how about a week ago we were all like, oh my god, like people were telling me Ivan Toney doesn't want to move, like he's so loyal to Brentford. Look at what he's saying about Brentford, how much the fans supported him and how he owes something. Well, today, let me show you what. I don't know if you guys have seen, but a couple of hours ago, Sky released an interview where they basically asked Ivan Toney, again, all about like his loyalty to Brentford. And this is just today, after last week saying that he owes Brentford a favour. They said, so, I mean, it's pretty clear that you will want to move one day, but definitely not this January. And Ivan Toney responded today. He said, well, you can never predict when it's the right time to move elsewhere. It's obvious I'd like to play for a top club. Everyone wants to play for the top clubs, fighting for titles and these kinds of things. So whether it's this January for a club to come in and pay the right money, who knows? but my main focus is doing what I do on the pitch and let the background work take care of itself. So basically, he refused to like rule out and move this January. He still wants to move. I was saying to my boyfriend, like, don't listen to what Ivan Toney says about Brentford. Like, he will move at the drop of a hat. I'm so sorry. Let's hope that I really hope Mr. B, the Brentford fan, is not in the chat because he'll be so upset. Mr. Waffles does everything mad. Ivan Toney better watch out. Mr. Waffles is in the house. Renee saying twerking on a bench is like beach is like GTA 6. Honestly, it looked like GTA 6. This Arsenal breakaway in Dubai has been absolutely mad. Renee saying, I like the Jesus shirt behind you. Thank you. That's one of my designs. I forgot to say. And when I draw Vardy, I'll make a Vardy one for you. Don't worry. So let's see what else. Renee's went to the gym. Gonna gathering thoughts on pineapple pizza. If you don't agree, then I'm kicking you off the channel. I love pineapple and pizza. Big up, Fran. Hope you're good. Big up, Ravi. Big up. I hope you're good too. Niall saying, did you hear about... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Niall. So Niall's mentioning the steak. Basically, if you don't know, it's so stupid. There's just a video of like Arteta with his family being served steak at that Salt Bay guy's restaurant. So you know the meme where he's like with the salt. It's so dumb. It's just Arteta eating some steak there, and he's getting like fed it by the weird greasy man with his like. Anyway, but then this, because you know our fan base is really sane, right, and very calm, and we don't overreact to anything. Well, of course, the fan base reacted incredibly calmly to this. No, they didn't. It caused a civil war where the people were saying it's like inappropriate for him to be like enjoying himself and eating steak, and then the other half saying like, let him eat steak, it's fine. Honestly, you could put a foot. It's that whole thing. Like you could put a foot over stick on Arsenal Twitter, and then we'll argue about it. It's insane. This is why I avoid Twitter. I can't be asked. Ravi saying, Frank, question: why isn't Arsenal ruthless as a club and a team? You're gonna trigger me. I will start the question. And I will answer it at the end, but you're absolutely right that we're not ruthless, and I find it so frustrating. I mean, being in any position of leadership at a club the size of Arsenal, any country you go, like the fan base, the support for a club like Arsenal is massive. We are a massive club, and we have every single infrastructure and fan support and finances to be the top of the top, be up there like Real Madrid. Basically, Real Madrid compete, like be that top level, because there's top clubs, yeah, and then there's top, like the Reals, kind of, they're on their own kind of plane for me, I suppose. But then, yeah, I suppose money-wise, like PSG, not Barca at the moment, Bayern, like there's space for another like top, well, Man City, I don't want to mention them, but of course. So we have all the opportunities to be that good. It's just, for some reason, like, I don't know, the ambition is there, like the manager wants it and stuff, but is he good enough is the question. Is the hierarchy above him aiming to be the best of the best? I would argue that if they were, would Arteta still be in the job? And why are these transfers going through with these kind of mediocre players? I don't understand. So someone somewhere doesn't care enough, and I would argue that it comes from perhaps Stan. Josh cares, but Stan, if he actually really wanted it, he could turn Arsenal around like that and get us to the top, like the best of the best, like he's done with some of his other sports teams over there in America. Another question for another time. 18 likes already. Thank you so much, guys. AJ saying, Ivan Toney wants to come. If we're going to afford 50 million for Onana off that, to Brentford plus Eddie and ESR, Brentford take that. Yeah, completely. I keep saying I want to be seeing these links for us to sell people. I mean, I've heard that Cedric Suarez is going to go this window, but we're going to get any money back from him? Doesn't look like it. We got him on a free, so it's kind of whatever, but I need to see, if you're not going to use ESR, if you're not, well, you want to use Eddie, obviously, but Nelson, Vieira, although he's injured, I suppose. Those guys there, get rid, bring in some money and bring in Toney. I'm convinced that if we brought in Toney this window, we win the league. We win the Prem. I'm absolutely convinced of it. That's how high my regard is for Ivan Toney. And speaking of Ivan Toney, look, let me show you the thing, okay? He just makes me laugh, right? But a lot of people are saying like this is the reason that he probably won't. So look, let me show you. This is what he posted today. So it's just cold. So this is basically to symbolize the end of his 8-month ban, and he just posted that gif with no caption or anything. It's he just cracks me up. It's cold. Look at that. That's what I'm saying about the fact, like, he doesn't take things too seriously. Not everything is like the end of the world for him, you know, like he's resilient, and God, we know that this Arsenal team needs a bit of that. So I love the guy. I think he's so funny. Oh, Renee saying, I think Toney will move to Man City this summer. Oh, I hope not. Mr. Arsenal Podcast, Ryan, what's up? How are you doing? I'm okay, thank you. I hope you're doing well too. AFC always. Guys, there's so much love in the comments. Thank you so much. I can't get to every comment though, because then I'll just sit here until like 5 a.m. just reading out your comments. And I would love to do that, but I do have to work tomorrow. AFC always said, Fran, our attacking approach shape is way different. We were so much more direct and quick last year. Now we're all about control, as if that wins us games. Our attacking approach is slow and lethargic now. Yeah, completely agree. Been saying that all season, really. I think the approach shape is kind of similar. It's more just like how slow and steady we are. And I was saying at the beginning of this season, okay, this is smart. We're clearly doing this in order to conserve energy for the end of the season, like the mug I think that I was. But my whole thoughts was that was on purpose, so that we weren't expending too much energy at the beginning of the season, and we could really build into our prime in these months. So now is where the proof is in the pudding, right? Were we playing slow and steady to save energy, or was it just like poor? So we're going to find out now whether that has actually meant that we could build to our peak at this point in the season. The evidence would suggest not, because we've kind of collapsed the last few games. But what I'm hoping is that this final half of the season will be like where we really become serious. And if we don't, then I've had it. Fran, Arteta is the best looking Spaniard ever. He totally is. It's inappropriate for Arteta to have steak. Why? Look, if you try and understand some of the Arsenal Twitter fans, I just think you'll be there forever. Gosh, you guys, thank you so much for all these comments, man. The governor is saying, do you do commissions for your art? I do. I used to, but I'm trying to move more into like prints and things now, because commissions is a long story. But if you go on my Instagram, which is Goal.so, you can see my old art account where you've got all my pet commissions and stuff. So I did used to, and now I sometimes do, but not so much. Connor, what's up? Saying thanks. Oh, don't worry, Connor. I've already bigged up your stream. But yeah, guys, that's the channel I was telling you about. CMO Connor, he's so awesome. Yes, so go over there and subscribe to him if you haven't already. You might know him as a regular on our friend TJ streams. Fantastic channel. And Connor, I love your channel too. And Stefan, he makes me laugh so much. Yeah. Ravi said, oh, thank you for popping into my stream. Ravi said, Fran, you look at Pep, if he was your manager, he wouldn't stand for this and some of the players would be moved on. Absolutely. I completely agree. Oh my gosh, Guna Gathering. Salt bait, that's a mistake. An attempt was made at a dad joke or a pun. Mr. Arsenal saying, Niall! Oh, you guys, I love you guys. This chat is awesome. 24 likes already. The aim is 45, I think. So like that, you guys are so good. Honestly, you guys are so great. I was gone for a week, and I thought if I streamed again that no one would come online, and I was like panicking and stuff. But you're all here, and I can't thank you enough. Oh my gosh, I've been talking for like however long, and right. Let's get on with the preview, right? Anyway, I've tried to stress just how important it is that we start so super well coming back from this break, and just put to bed, you know, that these rival clubs and the press and everyone so badly wants us to continue like screwing up. They love doing the elephant falling out of the tree memes and like Arsenal bottling it and stuff so badly. They want us to like, they're just waiting with their tweets ready to send about how we've bottled it again just earlier than last season. No, I want that to have been the blip, and this is where we get serious now. Although from all the photos in Dubai and all the shenanigans that were going on in Dubai, it did not look like it was like a serious getting down to business training camp. But I was getting so annoyed seeing some of the shenanigans that were going on. They should have been being put to work, I tell you. But right, so Crystal Palace preview. Let's just get into it. I'm so excited. So we're going to talk about the importance of this match. Done that. The form of both teams going into this tie. Exciting. Head-to-head record against Palace. Stats. You guys know I love some stats. Team news. Starting 11s. So get your starting 11s ready. So we're going to do what I would choose the starting 11, what you guys would choose, and then what we predict that Arteta would choose, which is basically like unchanged every time. But yeah. Score predictions, and then some general sort of chat about Arsenal and a Q&A. So if you put any questions in the chat, I will star them. And then if you come back in like an hour, if you're not interested in the preview, then I'll answer all the questions. So yeah, but I'll read out as many comments as I can as we're going along. So yeah, lots to get into. A little chat catch up before we get into it. So Renault's saying, yeah, but if Arsenal take a while to sign a player, and Man City will snap it to sign Toney or world-class players, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, Toney is so desperate to come here, and it's just the kind of like arrogant Arteta move to, like, as Curtis says, if it's simple, if it's obvious, Arsenal won't do it. So it'd be very classic of them to say like, oh, he's not quite at our level, then go and get like a Kivior or something like that. Ravi saying, Fran, you're a quality person. That means so much. Thank you so much. And then you guys, thank you so much. You've really cheered me up. Kuna Gathering saying, you know, I love a terrible joke. AFC always. Thank you for joining the stream again. Saying the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Ryan is on Arsenal payroll. Oh no. Like Ian Wright, Kevin Campbell, Ray Parler, and Martin Keown. Allegedly, you need proof before making these kind of allegations. That's slander, AFC always. Goalkeeper Raya, yes, definitely. I think that's what will happen, but we'll do the starting 11s in a bit. Ryan, do your research, like you said about me. Guys, keep it civil in the chat. Keep it civil in the chat. All opinions are welcome here. So let's go on with the preview. Right, so how important is this match? We went into that. It's hugely, hugely important that we put to bed all of this nonsense that Arsenal are like rubbish, that like, oh, is this the right match? It's not. We just don't need that kind of like, we don't need this conversation about whether Arteta's the right guy to rumble on like at this point in the season. At this point in the season, we just want Arsenal to be picking up points, and we'll continue that discussion like later on down the line, because it's unacceptable what's happened in the last 3 games and us coming out of the cups, no question about it. But I just want us to focus on like each game at a time and not have like this whole media circus around Arsenal. Like, no, let's go under the radar. I would love that. Just pick up 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, and then maybe have City or Liverpool or Spurs or someone like that just be like the joke club this half of the season. No more for Arsenal. Let's just get our heads down, get 3 points, and start off this Saturday. So yeah, we are 4th at the moment in the Premier League table. Oh, it's so miserable. So Liverpool at the top, having played the same number of matches as us, with 5 points ahead of us with 45 points. We're level on points with Tottenham. Can you believe that? That just shows like how rubbish our last few games have been. I cannot believe we're level on points with Tottenham. Ugh, it makes me sick. Man City with 43, Aston Villa with 43 points. Yeah. Aston Villa have played one more game. I think they just drew their last game. So were we to win, we would go level on points with Aston Villa and Man City. And things would look a whole lot more comfortable, wouldn't they? It wouldn't be such a crazy. It would be a bit more comfortable, wouldn't it? For us all on 43 points, then Liverpool just 2 points ahead. Lovely. Although Liverpool are playing this weekend. But yeah, that's basically where we're at the moment. As Guna Gathering says, must get back to winning ways. William Farrell, hello. Oh, I like that Egyptian statue in your profile picture. That's very cool. Anubis, is it the god Anubis? You guys will get to realize that I quite like my history things and a bit of a nerd with some stuff. hit the like button, folks. Anyway, subscribe and share. It greatly helps the channel. You never walk alone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Although I noticed you're a Liverpool fan with your "you never walk alone" at the end. I see you. Have you come here to laugh at us? I hope not. We're chasing you down, William Farrell. hopefully, starting on Saturday against Crystal Palace. So yeah. Our upcoming fixtures. I'm expecting. Let me know what you expect from these next games. So obviously we play Crystal Palace 12:30 on Saturday. If it goes well, then our weekend is nice and easy breezy, whatever. If we lose, then the meltdown, I will lose my head. I will absolutely lose my head. At the moment, I'm quite happy about what's going on in Dubai. Like, whatever, let your hair down and come back focused. But if we lose, I'll be going in on it. I'll be going in on Kivior's twerking girlfriend, Salt Bay, the yachts, the shopping bags, Eddie Nketiah with the Louis Vuitton handbag, however you say it. Not good enough. So I expect 3 points from Palace, 3 points against Forest, easy 3 points. Last season, we'd be looking at these and going, yeah, 3 points, 3 points. Oh, Gathering with the high standards saying 18 out of 18 points needed, including 4th of February playing Liverpool at home. You're right, we do need 3 points there. I hear you. We need 18 points out of all of this. Then we've got West Ham away. They're actually doing better than you'd expect. They're kind of up there. I think they're just after Spurs, but we need 3 points. Burnley, Arsenal, 3 points. Sorry, Vincent Kompany. I like you, man, but 3 points. And then Arsenal against Newcastle. So a couple of really tricky games in there, but I'd be expecting definitely 3 points against Palace, Forest, West Ham, Burnley. And then you're right, we should be getting 3 points, especially after these last few games against Liverpool and against Newcastle. That game against Liverpool will be so important. It's a 6-pointer. We gain 3 points, they lose 3 points. You know how it goes. That's why it's called a 6-pointer. So that was just to kind of show you what's coming up. But definitely these next 2 games before we do the big Liverpool preview, 3 points at each one, no questions asked. Nothing less than that is at all acceptable. As Goonie Gathering says. So yeah, I was just going to show you as well the matches going. So Liverpool are playing Bournemouth. So if we were expecting Liverpool to drop a couple of points, I mean, Dominic Solanke, he could be our saviour this weekend. Shamelessly, I'll be rooting for Bournemouth and I'll have Solanke tattooed on my forehead. Fantastic, can't wait. And then also, what have we got? Brighton, Wolves, Brentford, Forest, United, West Ham. So nothing too exciting except Liverpool are playing. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, now we're going to have a quick look at the form of both Arsenal and Crystal Palace going into this game. So, but first of all, I'll see what you guys are saying. AFC always. AJ saying, if we don't win that title race, done, and we move into the top 4 race. Yeah, we cannot be moving into the top 4 race. Absolutely not. It's your birthday on Arsenal versus Palace. Ooh, happy birthday. Hopefully Arsenal win, although you support Leicester, so I suppose it's kind of irrelevant either way, but I hope you have a great birthday. Have you got any plans? AFC always saying Arteta excuses will be against Palace. We're not used to this cold weather after spending time in Dubai. Do not even get me started. If I hear about, the change in temperature, it was so hot in Dubai and we got back and it's so cold. I would lose my mind. Goonie Gathering saying that table could have looked worse had Villa and Spurs won last weekend. Good point. I forgot about that. They both drew. So yeah, I guess we can thank our lucky stars that they didn't win, because we would have been Spurs would have gone above us. Oh. AJ saying we need 2 wins from our next 2 if we want any kind of momentum going into Liverpool home game. Absolutely, completely agree. Fran, your posh accent makes me laugh. Is that just my voice, or did I put on an accent? Because I think I just have quite a posh voice anyway. Question, Fran, would you take Mourinho over Arteta? Now his CV says it all. Ooh, that's a good question. I've started it and I'll answer at the end, but I would be tempted to say yes. As much as I like Arteta and I think he's got huge potential, I like our squad of players more, and I want to see what happens if you drag and drop a top class manager with all the experience. Arteta's got so much potential, he doesn't have the experience. So before we start losing some of this kind of golden generation of players, drag and drop a Mourinho and actually see if we could get some silverware. I would be quite excited if I woke up and heard that, oh, Mourinho is like taking over, but then there are so many downsides to Mourinho as well. But I'm kind of biased because I think Mourinho is like the funniest man in the world. So, and I have said Arteta has till the end of the season for me. Then we discuss things like that. Like no way before the end of the season. But I do love Mourinho. He's so funny. So bit of a side question, Fran, but do you think we can do something major in Champions League? I think we're actually looking really good in Europe. Jesus, Martinelli, those guys are thriving in Europe. So I expect us to get semis at least. I've got high hopes for Europe, so I expect us, to stay really, really late stages on in the competition. But anyway, I'll try and go through your comments, as I said, but I keep getting distracted. So if I don't read them out, then I will put them on the screen and I will read them in my head, but I don't have time to read them out. Jez, what's up? Saying Arteta out now. So Jez, would you take Mourinho like right now if they said tomorrow Mourinho's in charge? I think I would. Like, I'm not even like Arteta out like completely. I'm kind of nearly at that point, but I want to give him to the end of the season type thing. But if they said to me like, oh, like we've sacked Arteta, Mourinho's in charge, I think I would be like actually excited about that. And that's like rich coming from me, because like I do actually really appreciate a lot of the stuff Arteta's done, but I'm worried that if we don't achieve something soon, our players will start to move on and then we're stuck like left with nothing. So I'd love to see what a Mourinho could do with our awesome players. AJ's very formally saying, good evening, Jez Collins. Indeed, good evening, Jez Collins. Mr. Waffles, Mourinho leaves every club he manages in shambles. See, that is the downside of Mourinho. Like, he's good for a season or two, and then it just gets like turns into like a, I don't want to swear, it turns into a whatever. I'm not monetized anyway. It turns into a shitstorm, basically. So it's good for a couple of seasons, and then it goes nuts, and then I wonder about whether the club would be left in like a worse state than before Arteta got here. So it's like that's my thing. Like, if you were to sack Arteta and bring in someone else, then that doesn't work out. Like, all of this like building around like the ethos and attitude of the training ground, the fans, like the atmosphere, all that would go, and it could get toxic like really, really quickly. But having said that, winning football matches, winning trophies does a lot for the unity between fans and club. So yeah. Jez, I knew it. Says Mourinho is a winner and we'll sort these players out. Yeah, you wouldn't have any bottling, I don't think, or weak performances a few games in a row if you were to have someone like Mourinho in charge. Mourinho will replace Eddie Howe. Oh my gosh, we should be worried if that happens, because that would be a scary combination. Everyone's being so formal. Arsenal, the history and more. Good evening, sir, says AFC always. Okay, see you later, Rennie. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you joining me, as always. It was so good to see you, my friend. Happy birthday for Saturday if I don't see you, but I'll aim to be streaming every day, okay? Take care of yourself too. Have a good day. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you too. So let's look at the form of the teams going into this game this weekend. So Arsenal form, as we know, has been atrocious, and I've quite enjoyed not having us play, so I could kind of attempt to forget a little bit. But I will say, like, shamelessly, as an Arsenal, like, as well as making YouTube videos, I watch a lot of Arsenal YouTube, and it's been get your feet up and have some popcorn this week. Like, the debates on some of the channels, they've been so good. So Dan Potts you guys might have seen Dan on the 12th Man Football podcast. He's had like everyone and their mothers on. He's had panel shows with the likes of like Northside, Igal, Kenny Can. Who else he had? You guys will have seen them. Bavs, Kevin Campbell has been there on as well. It's basically, you've had panel shows with like the most ultra positive people combined with people like Northside, who just goes off on like Portuguese rants, and it's just been like the entertainment, even though it like sucks for our club, right? But we're having these debates, like it's been top tier. It's been so good. Some of the rants, like some of the videos, the panel shows, I've just been sat back watching it, like, oh my god. I love like Arsenal content so much. So yeah, anyway, you'll know what I mean. But anyway, our form has been bad, hence why there's been so much lively discussion on YouTube the last couple of months, weeks, days. It feels like weeks. So we lost in the FA Cup 2-0 to Liverpool, as you will unfortunately remember. It was grim. We remember we didn't take our chances at all, and then it was just inevitable that they were going to come back and punish us, which is what happened. Then we're out of all. I still can't believe we're out of all domestic cups, but anyway. Before that, in the Prem, we lost 2-1 to Fulham, and then it was the 2-0 horrible performance to West Ham, where we lost 1-1 draw away at Anfield. Like, yay! It was a fair result, I thought, but still, we needed 3 points. We beat Brighton 2-0, which was a good performance, which is kind of overshadowed by the rest of it. And before that, it was Champions League, the dead rubber against PSV. Either way, horrible form. Hey, 26 likes, thank you so much. Jez saying, if Mourinho had been given the money Arteta has had, Arsenal would have won trophies. Yeah, I agree with you there. The transfers, we've just bought too many like 30 or 40 million like mediocre kind of players, and I just want to know where like the world-class signings are that we have been promised and that we have the money for. Declan's there, to be fair, but other ones, you know, rather than like the development players, which I don't mind development players, but it's like too much of a gamble, and so many of them have not been working out. So yeah, AFC always saying, Jez, even if Emery had the funds like Arteta, we would have won trophies. Yeah, and I mean, it's a tough one. For me, what's really annoyed me has been like the disrespect that he's shown to the trophy competitions, like the amount of rotation and like the whole bigger fish to fry thing. That's really been what's annoyed me. Yeah, rather than like, I suppose like the funds so much. It's been that these teams could have gone really far in trophies. Like we had such a good team last year, but then we were so heavily rotated in our competition games that we were knocked out early. And it's just, yeah, you got to be able to do all of it, you know? So Palace form going into this fixture. Jez says, AFC always so true, mate. Yeah. So true indeed. Palace form going into this in the Prem. They beat Brentford in a really good match, 3-1 win. And then before that, they lost to Chelsea. They drew to Brighton, which is a fair enough result. Drew to City. Oh, I forgot about that. And then they lost to Liverpool, and then they lost to Bournemouth. Basically, their form this whole season has been really up and down and really pretty mixed. Poor Roy. He's really trying his best, but it ain't easy. They've got some really good star players, but it seems like their style of play is really pretty negative, and yeah, their results have been really mixed. Like their fans aren't too happy, and so we're going into it not playing like the best Palace side. And as you'll see coming into it, they've also got a few injuries. So at the moment, they are all the way down in 14th, obviously out of the relegation zone, but not by much, 5 points above the relegation zone. But yeah, Brentford are doing really poorly, actually. Everton are there. The whole Everton dropping more points is just crazy. I want to see, I'll talk about that another time, but it seems so unfair that City and Chelsea are still being allowed to get away with it. Like, anyway, so yeah, there's Crystal Palace down in 14th. Head-to-head record looking at the teams. So this is since Arteta has been in charge. At the top is 2019, where we appointed him. And as you'll see, his record against Palace has turned from more orange and reds to green. So orange represents a draw. And then in green, I've put our wins and 1 loss against them. In the since 2019 in the Premier League at least. So these are all our league games. That was in 2022 where we lost 3-0. But the last 3 games that we've played them in the league, we've actually won. So 2022 August, we won 2-0. March last year, we won 4-1 at home. August last year, so just a few months ago, it was a sketchy, like very close game where we actually did manage to win 1-0 away at Selhurst Park. So we have beaten them the last 3 times on the trot in the league. But before that, we had drawn a few, lost 1. We've beaten them the last 3 times. So I feel like our form recently has been pretty good. Last time they came and played us at home in the league, we won 4-1. But that was last year when it was like our ridiculously awesome playing style. So that's our head-to-heads. I thought we'd have a quick look at how they play. This is like nerd time, guys. Stick on your glasses. Jez, I know how much you love stats. We're going to just look at kind of a comparison of like how many passes they have per game and stuff. You know, I'm so excited. So look, here are a few interesting stats I thought. So attacking stats, this season in the Premier League, we've scored 37 goals and they've scored 22. So they've barely scored anything. However, when they do score, they tend to be like really good goals and they hit you really quick on the counter. So these stats actually are pretty promising for Arsenal. But as some of you guys are saying, this is by no means an easy game. And I feel like I'm going into it thinking like, oh yeah, this should be easy, but it really won't be. Yeah. We score 1.85 goals average per match and they score 1.1. So that's actually not loads less per match, I suppose. Like that's not a huge difference. We've had 325 shots to their 236. So that again shows like how many shots we have to actually convert a goal. It's crazy. Shots on target 110 to their 82. We have a very similar shooting accuracy to them, which considering they're in 14th is not great. We've scored 6 penalties. They've scored 3. We've created 38 chances to their 26. Basically, yeah, we've scored quite a few more goals than them, but it's not actually hugely way more, I suppose you can take from that. Defensive records, we've had 7 clean sheets. They've had 5, so only actually 2 less than us. We've conceded 20 and they've conceded 29. So that's actually a bit closer than I would have hoped as well. We average conceding 1 goal per match, which is not good enough. Where are the clean sheets, Arsenal? What happened to this amazing defense this season? I'm surprised I'm so angry today. The disclaimer's there at the beginning in case any player or manager watches this. Saves. Yeah, basically, yeah, what I got from this defensive part is basically at the bottom you can see how much more aerially dominant they are. That's kind of the interesting part why I got these stats up. So headed clearances, they've had 220 and we've had 114. They've had 448 clearances, we've had 232. And that is because they concede like a lot more chances against them. But they're really good at heading the ball away, basically. Aerial battles won. We've won 1,193. They've won 1,411. So what I'm really worried about here is like what we know about this team, like the physicality, and where a player like Onana from Everton would actually be really handy in games like this. They are just very Roy Hodgson, like play it mean, tough, counter-attacking. We're in danger of being one of those games where if we come in all soft and dainty and try and be too cute with it, that they could just like smash us off the park. So that's kind of what I got from that. Yes, Agal, what's up? How are you? I'm good, thank you, Agal. I hope you're good too. Thank you for joining the chat. AJ saying 1 from a possible 16 speaks very loudly. Yeah, it's mad, it's mad. Ashley always says, Jez, even if Emery had the funds like Arteta, we would have won trophies. If Emery had them, maybe, I don't know. Passes, we've had like 11,000. We play a lot more possession ball than them. They like to play on the counter. Basically, they will park the bus and try and hit us on the break. Very Roy Hodgson ball. Woy likes to park the bus. We love it. I love Woy, but I won't love him on Saturday. I'm sorry, Roy, but I want to destroy you. That sounds really bad. So we've passed the ball 11,000 times to their 8,000. We tend to pass 566 times per match to their 400. So they pass like 2/3 the amount of us. Our passes are a bit more accurate than theirs. They actually don't make too few less crosses than ours, whatever. Either way, what I got from that is we will be controlling the ball. And that doesn't even bring me much comfort because I know that we can control the ball all match and have so much possession, have all the field tilt, but we can't get the ball in the back of the net. It screams to me of a match where we will just be passing it in that horseshoe shape, like trying to get into their low block and just not being able to get that final pass or that final goal. So I'm interested to see how we will approach it. Will we try and draw them out? So doing that thing where Raya's holding onto the ball, that scary thing we saw at the beginning of the season, you remember, to try and get them to come out, which gives us more space to attack them. This Palace podcast I was listening to and hearing about how they played the game this evening suggested that the best way to get at Palace is down the flanks. So really using Martinelli and Saka this time because Eze basically plays in the middle of the park. And if we lose possession in the middle of the park, like he will hit us on the break centrally. So if we're playing out wide, it kind of like cuts Eze out from the game a little bit. But it's going to be a really interesting match. And I really hope it's not one of those games where we're doing the death by 1,000 passes and then they just hit us on the break and score because we've refused to take our chances. It could very easily go the same way as that Liverpool game that we just finished on before the break. So let's hope that they found a new way to penetrate like the goal, basically. I want to see an early goal and just put to bed this whole thing that we can't score because I'm so bored of that. So their top goal scorers compared to ours, as you guys know, this is ours. So Bukayo is on 6 goals, Eddie's on 5. These numbers suck, by the way, in case you didn't know. Kai is on 4, Odegaard's on 4, Jesus on 3, Rice on 3, Trossard on 3, Martinelli on 2, and then I can't see who's below that on 1. Oh, Gabriel and Vieira. But compared to them, their top scorer is also on 6. So that's Odsonne Edouard, who is fit, I believe, this Saturday, and he's got on the same number of goals as Bukayo Saka, which is not great. And then Michael Olise, who is out. Fortunately for us, last time we beat them, he was also out, so that seems to do us favours. But then Eze, who was really good today against Everton. They lost today in that replay of the FA Cup, but he played really well and was such a threat. So he's kind of on fire at the moment. We've really got to watch out for him because it's got loads of missed chances, then being hit on the counter by Eze written all over it. That must not happen. And then Jordan Ayew is there as well, but he's away at AFCON. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Jeffrey Schlupp is down there with 1. But no, I don't think he was actually selected for AFCON. But yeah. So anyway, what's going on with our team news? What's our team looking like going into it? Let's have a look. So Jesus is back. Yay! As you know, he got injured just before the break and we were all freaking out thinking it could be weeks and weeks and weeks. I thought it would be months because it's Jesus and it was a knee problem, so I was getting ready for the worst. Thankfully he is back, so we will still score no goals. Yeah, it's mad. Zinchenko is still a doubt, unfortunately. So this tweet by Simon Collins saying, Gabriel Jesus hoping to be back in the Arsenal squad for Saturday's game against Palace, but Alexander Zinchenko still remains a doubt, and that was by the Standard yesterday. So we might still be having Kivior play at left back, which is sus. However, that game against Liverpool, he didn't actually invert. He was just playing as like a solid left back, which still doesn't make sense because he's actually a centre back, but it was less like confusing and out of positioning for him just to play as like a solid left back, and that was like kind of okay. It was better than him having to invert, but yeah. AJ saying big up Hugo every time. What's up, Hugo? Saying big up AJ and big up Fran. Hope you're well. Hope you're well too. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. Waffles, no. Saying thanks for the pod. Got to actually work now. No, don't do it. Just pod. Just pod. I'm kidding. Good luck with your work. Thank you for joining us. Bless. Fran, would you take Benzema? Yes. It's an absolute no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. I can't remember which podcaster was making this point as well. Yeah, so when I haven't been podding this last week, I've been listening and I've been watching. And someone made a really good point that he managed to get whichever team he manages to play in. I think it was like Vinny Jr. they were referencing. He raises the game of the wingers and the players around him so highly by like demanding and telling them what he needs, like to get assists and things. So players like Martinelli, Saka that need to go up to be that world-class level, he would be able to raise them to that by playing with them. Interesting thought. And if we want our boys to be world-class, they need to have a world-class player to play with, to raise them to that level. Whenever I've played in sports teams, like hockey especially, you don't just like fabricate like playing at that level. You need to be playing with players who are that good around you, and you have to raise your game to be able to match theirs or better theirs. That's how you get there, not just playing with people who are like as good as you, if not worse, clearly. So what other team news have we got? Yeah, obviously this nice graphic I made. So we still got no Tomiyasu, no Teabag, no Jurien Timber. Oh, it's so sad. And no Thomas Partey, no TP, no party, no party. So that sucks, but we're used to it really, aren't we? Team news for Palace. So Roy Hodgson said today, the ones that remain out are Michael Olise, Rob Holding. No, we won't get the Rob Holding derby, which is really sad, but I don't think he was playing anyway. But anyway, we love you, Rob. Cheikh Decore and, of course, Joel Ward. They're still the ones that are definitely out, still recovering with Michael. And Jordan Ayew, another one of their key players, is at AFCON. So they're kind of similar in terms of injury issues with us. But Michael Olise is a really key player for them, and he is out. So we've got to take advantage of that. It's 3 points or nothing. So starting 11s, it's that time. What we do, if you're new, is like you just pretend that you are a football manager for the day. You can just put whoever you want, who's fit in the team, in any position that you like. And that's like your dream starting 11, and I've got mine. And then we'll do what we think Mikel Arteta will actually do. So this is the part where you get to be a football manager, and I'll show you mine. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'll read it out for you guys. So my dream starting 11, I always love doing this bit because you just get to go like a little bit random. So let me know yours in the chat. Hey, Tarl Gunner TV, what's up? Thank you for joining. Says big up, Fran. Benzema to Arsenal. Get him to my club now. If we get him, I'll be so excited for this. Please, it'll be so good. But what kind of figures are they talking? That's the thing. It's like, are we broke? Are we not? How much are they asking for Benzema? Oh, thank you for letting me know you can see it. Okay. But yeah, make it happen. Or make Toney happen. Sell. Where are these selling links? I got to see our players being moved out. It's driving me mad. I'm still giving them the benefit of the doubt that players will be sold in January and we'll be able to get someone in. If it doesn't happen on deadline day, I'm having a meltdown. I'm sorry. Money grabbing 6-month retirement tour. No, don't disrespect Benzema like that. I do not agree with you, Lee. Guna Gathering. He says he would have taken Benzema about 10 years ago. Disrespect. Come on. You know that sports athletes, they're getting older and older and staying in their prime. It's the Ronaldo effect. It's the Novak Djokovic effect. The Roger Federer effect. It ain't all about just finishing at like 31 nowadays. No. And with sports science advancing like so amazingly recently, like athletes can continue to play at a really high level for so much longer. Oh, it's a loan deal, is it? Interesting. Well, whatever deal it is, get him in. The main thing that is hindering us at the moment is the lack of experience and the lack of like having been there, having done it. Imagine having someone like Benzema in there, like absolute man beast. Nothing would phase him, right? He'd be thinking like, oh, just a quick Premier League, like last the season, Premier League trophy, win the rest of the matches, easy. And can you imagine like having a striker like that and the amount of service he would get in our team? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. New name in the chat, Joe Montana, I think. Hello, welcome. I hope you're doing well too, Joe. Thank you for joining us. Please do hit the like on your way in and subscribe. It's cool. We can disagree. We sure can. See, that's why I love this channel. Some people just come in and just absolutely hate everything that the manager does. Some people think he's the best looking Spaniard we know and absolutely love him. I'm somewhere kind of in between, depending on what happens week per week, because I'm a bit like that. But I err towards wanting a better manager. I just love it. We can all discuss it and be civil. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Big wages per week. Will he perform? Not sure. That is the thing. That is the thing. Havertz is on big wages. That's what annoys me about it. I was going to say, like, yeah, we're so tight with our wage structure, but then Penny Havertz is on like nearly 300 mil a week. He's on like 280 or something. So it's like, what wage structure? You're right. Like, will he perform? Not sure. And you guys do have a really good point. That is he like kind of past it? But I would risk it. I would risk it. Joe Montana saying, I was on another stream, then seen your video came up. I'm actually from Leicester and a Leicester fan, but I'd like him to subscribe. Well, thank you so much. Another one of our regular viewers, Renee, is also a Leicester fan. So that's really interesting. And I've promised her that I will draw a portrait of Jamie Vardy because I love that guy. And I will put it on a t-shirt like the one I've done of Gabriel Jesus behind us. Then you guys will have a Vardy t-shirt. So welcome. You're in the right place. Thank you for subscribing. Fran, have you been to any games this season? I have not, because I'm like number 21,000th on the list for a season ticket. So I just have to wait till our friend who has got a season ticket can't make it, and then we get to go. Oh, actually, I have been to a game this season. Yeah, I went to the North London Derby. Yeah, and now I'm waiting like to be able to go to my next one. But I might be going to the Armoury on Saturday to see Llewellyn. You know, Dell, who does all the pencil portraits and stuff. He's in there like working, so I might go and say hello to him. Yeah, about Benzi, Jez is saying, let's be honest, he hasn't exactly ripped up trees in Saudi. I don't know how fair of like a comparison it is though. Like, are they just going out there and kind of like chilling because there aren't really any stakes? Whereas if he's come back somewhere and the team is like on the verge of winning the Prem, he will want to do that. But anyway, so let me go to my dream starting 11, then we'll talk about what I think we'll actually see in the real world. So I would want to see Ramsdale in goal because I think he played so well in the FA Cup against Liverpool. It was great seeing him. He had a really good performance. And then with Zinchenko still being out, I'd have our strongest back four apart from that. So Saliba, Gabriel, White and Kivior, because there's no other choice basically at left back with Tomiyasu being injured. And then I'd mix it up a little bit by having Rice, Odegaard and ESR, because ESR is such a creative, intricate player and we're going to be playing against the low block of Crystal Palace. And I also think that ESR will like run his legs off in this game because he's so desperate to impress because he gets so few minutes. So start him and he will give it 110%. So my thinking was that if they do hit us quickly on the break, ESR will, as I said, be like running his legs off to recover and stuff. So that'll be great. And then Martinelli, Saka, and I'd love to see Trossard up front. I think he's just been so underused. And his form has really dipped since he's come from Brighton. Like he was scoring hat tricks at Anfield and stuff. And then I think the fact that he's come here and been asked, like not really had a regular spot and kind of been used as a super sub and not like, I think he's deserved to have a starting spot really. Although I'll give it that Jesus has been really good as well. But like when Martinelli's form has not been so good, like I feel like Trossard's kind of had a bit of an unfair go. So I'd love for Arteta to just put his arm around Trossard the second half of the season and go like, you're my guy, like prove it. Or at least give him a few games to prove it, because I think Trossard's got what it takes. So yeah, that's my like fun starting 11. But I'll go into like what I think the actual starting 11 will be. So here it is. 9 goals in 15 appearances in Saudi. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's way more than our lot. We've only had 6 goals from Saka anyway. So this is what the starting 11 that I think we'll actually see. which is what's disappointing is that at the beginning of the season, I was really hopeful with the amount of rotation we were seeing. And as I was explaining in the last stream, it kind of seems like as Mikel gets a bit more under pressure, it's more and more rigid with the starting 11. And so if that theory holds true and he's desperate for a win, then he'll just play like his favourites, you know? So I would guess that it would be Raya, Kivior, Saliba, Gabriel, White, and then Havertz, Rice, Odegaard, because probably it'll be more of an attacking kind of style game. He played Jorginho and Rice against Anfield because we needed a bit more stability. But I think if we're playing against a low block, he'd probably play Havertz there. But then Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka. I wish though that we could be surprised and show that he's like really thought about things. And I don't want this to be it, because I want him to think either play this, but like they're playing completely differently, like really like re-energized, or switch it up, like with my ideas, like having Trossard up front or playing ESR. We can't do the same thing that we've done this first half of the season because it's not worked. It's been so touch and go and then just collapsed. So I'd like to see something different. But if we know Arteta and his like stubbornness, then it probably will be this. I don't know what you think. Hasper joins the chat, just saying Havertz, lol. Cheers, mate. I still can't believe we signed him. Don't remind me. I've done the Havertz rant too many times this season, but thank you for joining us. Welcome to the channel. Tyrell Gunner TV says, it's funny how Ronaldo says he's going to make the Saudi league good and players want to leave after 6 months like Henderson and Benzema. Guess Saudi's not for everyone. Yeah, it's so embarrassing. It's embarrassing, the whole Henderson thing. I'm still so annoyed that he like sold his soul to do that after like campaigning for LGBT rights and stuff, and then going over to Saudi. It's mad. I guess Saudi is not for everyone, as you say. Fran, huge congratulations on 757 subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, we're so close to 800. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, everyone. And welcome if you are new and subscribed. And thank you for joining me today. So that's my predicted starting 11. We've just done a chat catch-up time and score predictions. Put yours in the chat. My prediction is actually 2-0 Arsenal. I'm being optimistic here, and I'm predicting that we will come back strong from the Dubai break, and we'll have like put all that to bed, all that nonsense, and we'll have remembered to score again. And as I predicted, warm weather training will have done us actually some good. So that's my optimistic prediction. If you're still here, please, or if you're watching on catch up, put your score predictions in the comments, and I will look forward to reading them all. I'm really dreading this game though. It's got to be 3 points. Said at the start it will be 2-1 Crystal Palace. Hope I'm wrong, says AJ. I hope you're wrong too. It's so important. It's such like a pivotal moment in our season right now, because as I was saying, it's either we get the win and it's like proving that was like a blip or whatever, like maybe it was just a bad patch, or it's like we've actually screwed the season, will be the narrative. So if there's any chance of salvaging our season, we've got to get the 3 points today, and after that, and after that, and after that. Hugo saying 1-0 Arsenal. I like it. I like it. That is what our score was when we beat them earlier on this season. So I'll take it. I'll take it. 3 points, whatever. 1-0 dodgy penalty. Like, I'll take it. We just need the 3 points. So yeah. There were a few starred questions that I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to call it a day. And hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. I've got a big day of gardening though, so I'll see how tired I'm after that. But yeah, the aim is to go back to daily streams again now. So hopefully I'll see you guys again tomorrow. So let's go through a few of your questions and then call it a night. So Niall asked earlier on, thoughts on Arsenal being linked to Braithwaite and the Sunderland keeper Patterson? Okay, I've heard this rumour, Sunderland keeper Patterson. To me, that implies that we would be able to then sell Aaron Ramsdale, which I don't agree with, but he's not our number one keeper anymore. Like Arteta wanted Raya. Raya's our number one. So sell Ramsdale, get 30 or 40 million for Ramsdale. And then if you do that in January and maybe sell one more player, then we can go and get an Ivan Toney. So like it's a no-brainer for me, because if we do that, then it means we can sell Ramsdale and then hopefully bring in a striker. And Braithwaite, I think, Everton defender, left back. It would be kind of a stopgap signing, which I don't totally agree with. I think I would rather, if we were going to do a January signing, I'd rather it would be up front, because the defence isn't so much of our problem. I know we're like thin in terms of like cover there, but I would rather we prioritise a striker or a replacement winger, you know. Hope that answers your question. Ravi asked, Fran, why isn't Arsenal ruthless as a club and a team? And I did answer that one at the time, but really good question, and I completely agree. AFC Always asked, Fran, would you take Mourinho over Arteta now? CV says it all. Yeah, I said I'd save these for later, but I read them and then I get like interested in the question. And I was saying basically that I probably would, because I'd want to see what would happen if someone who was actually hugely experienced came in. Like, I know that they say that Jose, after 3 or 4 years, like it all goes to hell. But if in that time we win a Prem and a Champions League, like, will we actually care? I don't know. I don't think I would. Sorry. AJ saying, a bit of a side question, but do you think we can do something major in the UCL? And I did actually answer that one already. So thank you very much for your questions, guys. Guna Gathering is going for 4-1 to the Arsenal. I very much hope that will be the case. And BX Gunner saying 3-0 to the Arsenal. I will order you your giveaway prize too soon, BX Gunner. So yeah, that's me for the night. I'm sorry if I was a bit frantic and panicked. As I said, it's been a really stressful week with my granddad not being very well and stuff. And so I've been really nervous about streaming because it's been a difficult week, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. And I'm sorry if I've chatted some rubbish, but I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. So thank you very much for joining the stream and reminding me that it's okay to take a few days off. I've very much appreciated your company. Niall, you reckon it will be 5-0 to the Arsenal? Wouldn't that be fantastic? That would be absolutely fantastic. But we must very, 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 very much make sure that we don't slip up and lose, because that would be catastrophic. And we're at a real crossroads, you know, what direction our season could be going. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to call it a day. Please do remember to check out my art and my merch and stuff on my website, golartso.com. And on there are links to like my Instagram and things like that. So thank you so much, guys. Hugo says he's sending good vibes. Gonna Gathering saying enjoyed it, mate. Gave you a voice message earlier. Oh, okay, I'll remember to read that at some point, but I tend to just hide from my phone when I'm stressed, so it's not personal if I don't reply straight away. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Up the Gunners! Bring on Saturday, I can't wait. I'll see you guys later. Bye!